Alright, cocksuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? What is artwod? They are the best platform in the world to teach you how to draw from imagination. And they give you the work, not the shortcut. Work that lets you draw like this after 3 years and 8 months of practice. Nice little segue into who am I? I'm Viggy. I've been drawing for what the fuck I just told you, right? This channel is a repository of my practice to prove that anybody, especially you, can draw. Granted, we focus on the one thing that we are in control of: effort. And with that being said, get your pen, get your paper, and draw along with me, right? Let's fucking draw. Give me retention, keep me on the background, mute my ass, whatever the fuck you need to do, right? Seriously though, gluck to artwod, right? They teach you how to draw simple forms and then how to manipulate forms and all that shit. Just go to artwod. Just fucking go to artwod, all right? Please, for the love of God, like, everything I can do is everything I can do thanks to them. So please go to artwod. Is this the good pen? It is absorbing ink quite nicely, so that is what I'm not going to use until it's time to actually draw the box, right? But what are we doing? We're doing the artwod portrait roadmap. Pretty fucking self-explanatory. Oh, by the way, I didn't want to draw. I did not want to draw it right now, right? This is the second hour today I'm supposed to be drawing. It's fucking 1:30 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. I've been putting it off for like 4 hours, but I'm here, okay? Therefore, you can also be here. Again, if I can do it, you can do it. More than anything, why can't you do it, right? I want to also prove that if a dumbass like me can draw, then a dumbass like you can also draw, right? But what are we doing? We're doing the artwod portrait roadmap. I'm doing the part of the roadmap, the exercise. This is like very early on. I have like fucking hundreds of exercises left to do. I also do 100 times the work they require. I'm on like my fucking 400th rep right now, right? Repetition right now, because art is pure repetition, pure cognitive intensive repetition, right? It's a working memory skill. What other fucking buzzwords do I use? Working memory taxation, astrocytic glycogen, fucking output regression, whatever bullshit I say, right? But anyways, what are we doing? I'm looking at a portrait reference. I am encompassing a box over that portrait reference. I'm visualizing it when I say I'm encompassing it, right? I'm visualizing, calculating. These are all calculations. That's why they tax your working memory, right? I'm visualizing that, and then I am projecting it onto the page, right? And then I'm calculating the seen through part, and I'm already thinking right now. While I'm talking, I'm thinking, and me talking while thinking not only uses astrocytic glycogen, i.e. the energy source that our brain uses when it comes to doing cognitive labor, right? My brain is using it not only from the parietal lobe, but also from the prefrontal cortex. Parietal lobe for narration, prefrontal cortex for what I'm narrating, right? The fucking spatial calculation, spatial reasoning. If there's any doubt that spatial reasoning was king, there shouldn't be. It's a retarded doubt. Spatial reasoning is fucking king, right? But anyways, I am consistently just looking at the portrait reference right now, and then I'm also coming back here. I'm very, very forcefully trying to calculate the seen through box. Like, I'm trying to see this first, right? I'm trying to see this first, right? And then I'm trying to see this calculated outward, right? Because this is roughly the perspective, very roughly the perspective. And then I'm trying to calculate, like, this is the first step, is I'm trying to hold, this is the schema, right? It's a mental model I'm trying to build. What am I trying to build? I'm trying to build a 3D simulation that serves as a foundation for the face, right? But right now the first step is just to see through the box, and I say just, not that it's easy, but it's simply like, this is a simple concept, like, oh, you're just trying to see through the box. You're just trying to get the diagonal cross sections visualized, right? In terms of like the simplicity of the concept of what I'm trying to do, not the ease or applicability of what I'm attempting to do, right? There's a very fine difference, and that's actually where everybody loses their shit, literally, including me. Like in the beginning, you're like, oh, I just need to draw a line, right? I just need to draw a straight line. And then you're like, wait, what the fuck? When I try to draw a line at this angle, oh, my finger's a lot more wonky. And the fact that me having to draw a line from here to here, look at that. I fucking did this instead. What the fuck? And then you realize, oh shit, this requires a lot of effort. This requires a lot of motor skill effort. This requires a lot of fucking cognitive effort to hold the line, to visualize the 2 points, to hold the line and visualize the 2 points while applying the line in of itself, right? This is going to take me a lot more than I thought. Therefore, enter the valley of despair, i.e. incorrectly named, right? Incorrectly named the valley of despair. What it should be called is the valley of sheer effort, right? It's the realization of how long it takes and how much effort it takes. And I'm here to tell you, it's gonna take forever. You'll never be as good as you want. Therefore, enjoy the process, i.e. focus on the effort, right? And again, that's what I'm doing right now. And it's better to think that way. It's objectively just better to, and this guy's head is tilted. Yeah, there you go. This guy's head is slightly tilted. So it's actually, oh, it's a nice, there you go. Like, see, like the thing is, I drew it here, but I didn't visualize it here, right? But I'm putting in a lot of fucking effort right now to visualize this box. And now this is where I'm really leaning into not only visualizing the invisible XYZ axes, and then the visible XYZ axes, right? But to hold it, I'm trying to hold it together, and I'm calculating the diagonal cross sections, right? Calculating the diagonal cross sections. That's the visible, and then the invisible, right? And then the invisible again, right? Really trying to hold it, the visible up here, right? And then the invisible down here. And it's already like my mind is constantly going all over the place in terms of like where I'm trying to pay attention, and I've already lost it, so I gotta hold it again. And this is where ghosting is. Ghosting is the bridge between the motor cortex and the prefrontal cortex, right? So this is where the ghosting really helps, right? In this guy's head, I have to keep remembering like what the tilt is, right? Like keep remembering where it's tilted as well as the depth of which it's tilted to, because I have to remember like this is relatively the depth of the box. But my mind, that's easy to do on this tiny scale, but on a larger scale when it doesn't even exist yet, to see that in my mind is extremely difficult. I'm in a lot of discomfort right now. My stomach is starting to churn a little bit, right? My eyes are getting warm, my head, my forehead feels a little bit of pressure, and this is exactly where I want to be, right? This extremely uncomfortable feeling. What is it actually, right? Because we can use vague ephemeral terms like, yes, it is uncomfortable. What's actually happening? What's the biological processes that are occurring in our body right now? We are releasing norepinephrine. We are releasing acetylcholine. Norepinephrine is the stress chemical, right? Or epinephrine, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Or, epinephrine, right? Not or epinephrine, that doesn't exist. Norepinephrine is being released, right, as a stress chemical because we are inducing stress by putting our brain in a cognitive distress, right? Basically putting it in a state where it's not comfortable. It has not done this before, and your brain is actively resisting this. We're also releasing acetylcholine, right? Our brain which is the spotlight chemical, right? The focus chemical. Our brain's trying to focus on what it needs to pay attention to get past this feeling, to get better at it. And that's where the fucking dozens of errors I'm making, right? With visualizing this, I attach dopamine. I feel good, right? Dopamine is going to be attached to what acetylcholine is spotlighting, which is the errors that I'm willingly noticing right now, and the errors that you're willingly noticing and constantly attaching dopamine to. And this is signaling to our brain that you need to pay attention to this, because this stress associated with this focus means that there's something to be fixed here, i.e., the connections that are being made. The incorrect connections will be pruned out, right? And myelination will occur. Your myelin sheath will get stronger, strengthening the more appropriate connections for the skill in this context, the visualization and calculation of this box in this particular angle that is being seen through, and I'm calculating the diagonal cross sections. Now I'm gonna lean the fuck in. I'm not physically, but of course, like I'm gonna mentally lean into this friction, and I just looked at the portrait reference just to recalibrate my understanding of the perspective, and also I need to make the box objectively correct as well, right? More correct. I'm gonna lean in, and I'm gonna try to, there you go, I'm visualizing the scene through a box, and I'm also trying to visualize the calculations. Immediately, the second I try to visualize any one of the diagonal cross-section calculations, especially on the invisible side, my brain is tilting the box this way, the back plane's diverging out, it's all completely going to shit. And that is a beautiful feeling which I attach dopamine to, right? Which I feel good about. Just force myself to vaguely feel good, right? Literally, I can send like a fucking chill of goodness down my body now, right? Like, but in the beginning, it was a shit-eating grin saying air in my mind over and over while I was making mistakes, right? And just force myself to feel good. Whatever you do. But again, I lost it a bunch of times while I'm talking, because talking and drawing is extremely difficult, right? And I'm trying to hold it again, I'm trying to bring it back. And now I'm trying to hold all of it together and just purely calculate in my mind the diagonal cross sections and project that internal subconscious calculation onto the page, right? Because Kim Jong-il always said visualization is one of the most underutilized and under-refined skills, and I will dedicate my life to refining the skill. There you go. That was very difficult. Let me rest my brain. And it is an extremely difficult skill, I want to say. Like visualization, right? There is a subset of the population that cannot do it, right? 1 to 3%. You have aphantasia, right? You are probably not that person, by the way, right? Who have aphantasia, by the way, not who you have aphantasia. There's 1 to 3% of the population roughly who have aphantasia. You're most likely not that person, because this channel is fucking tiny, right? So get your head out of your ass. Second, acknowledge that I also struggle immensely with visualization to this point. And I just drew this, not just drew this, but drew this on stream, part 63, check it out. But I drew this on stream, right? And if you check out my previous streams and all my imagination drawings, my Road to Kim Jong-il series, right, and my live streams, you'll see that I consistently draw from imagination, like larger scenes that I consistently try to get better at. And I struggle immensely with visualizing, and I can only see about 30 to 60%. Wow, what a shocker, that number seems to reflect that Kim Jong-il always said, which he can only roughly see 30, 60% on the page as well, right? What does that tell you? It's a fucking difficult skill, even if you're a master, right? So we just need to get our head out of our ass and be like, okay, like, do I want to pursue this extremely difficult skill? If the answer is yes, okay, here's the cost. It's the metabolic cost, right? It's drawing is thinking. The metabolic cost of spatial reasoning, the metabolic cost of visualization, the metabolic cost of having a giant dick. They all exist. Like, you just have to be willing to stick it in the hole of effort. I don't know. I really didn't know where I was going with that. I tried to be inspirational. Anyways, please rest your brain. Alright, Wunderbar. You might be wondering, why do I have to rest my brain? Well, when you lean into what is called output regression, where your brain energy is utilizing all of its energy resources, your brain is utilizing all of its energy resources, which in this case will be astrocytic glycogen, right? The prefrontal cortex, which you're using to spatially reason, right, is utilizing these extremely demanding. It's extremely demanding to visualize and to spatially reason, so it utilizes astrocytic glycogen, your brain's energy, right? When you reach output regression, which is when that reserve hits its ceiling, right? That reserve hits its ceiling, you then must sustain that for a little bit longer, right? That's where you attach dopamine to errors as well. That's where you get a lot, and like right now I'm making a lot of fucking mistakes, but that's where you get, and it feels so good, and that's where you get the most return on investment for like the effort, right? But it's not just that. It's after that, you must rest your brain for two things. It's called the gap effect. It's called micro gap effects, right? You might have heard of the spacing effect as well. But it's basically two things, right? And while I'm talking, by the way, I'm really trying to visualize this invisible XYZ and then visualize the visible XYZ and then connect them and place them appropriately in the correct orientation, right? This tilt, right? In the correct orientation and connect them, right? And that is extremely difficult. Like, genuinely extremely difficult. And my brain just created this box. You want to know what box my brain just created when I did that? It created this. That's what it created. Just tell me that looks like a fucking box. The answer is it doesn't, right? And this is somebody who can draw this, by the way. And this isn't to be like, look at me, I can draw amazing. It's to be like, someone who can still draw relatively believable forms struggles with the most basic of perspectives. When the basic perspective is taken to the natural extreme in terms of visualization, seeing through the form, and doing geometric calculation within that seen through form. And we're not even counting all this other fuckery that I'm going to be doing as well, or I'm trying to be doing in terms of the total consolidated schema, right? So I just want to tell you, like, it's just always difficult. It's always difficult until it isn't. Like, this is going to be difficult for hundreds of hours until my brain consolidates and chunks the information, and it isn't, right? But yeah, like the micro gap effects, apart from, like, what it does is, apart from replenishing your brain energy resources, right, your astrocytic glycogen, it also serves, and we don't know why, but these micro gap effects, essentially, our brain replays this information at 20 times the speed. So we get a 200% boost in our learning, right? And okay, you'll see, like, I did this as the front plane, and then when I tried connecting it, my hand went this way, right? So I made a box like this in my mind, right? It's like, yes, 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 the tilt is good, right? This is all good, this is all good. And then bam, I did that, right? Incorrect. Again, right? Very difficult on this scale to zoom out and to be like, okay, it's tilting, right? We are all very tilted today, right? And then zoom out, and now I have to actively be like, no, connect like that. And that just forcefully telling my brain to connect in the correct manner is extremely difficult. And you can tell my speech is stilted, right? And I still think I don't made the depth enough. Like, I keep stopping the side plane to around this level of depth, but that's wrong. It should be a little bit more like that. Otherwise it's too shallow, right? Otherwise it's not exactly a perfect cube in perspective. And I'm still trying to visualize and calculate the geometric volume of what I can reason as best as possible to be a perfect cube in perspective, right? And you'll see, like, I create, and maybe you can, but like, you'll see that I create decent depth here, right? This is decent fucking lisp, decent depth. And then over here, I have to hold that. There you go. And then bring this back. And this is why, what's it called? Ghosting slowly helps quite a bit, right? This is genuinely why. But, and again, like, I didn't tilt it enough. It was like this, right? Which is roughly how it should be, right? And then at the end of it, I tilted it this much, which is a beautiful, beautiful mistake. I just forced myself to feel good. But again, now I'm just going to try to visualize this entire box to the best of my ability. I'm going to try to see the diagonal cross sections inside of it as well. This is the first step, right? And because that's already like very cognitively demanding. It's already cognitively demanding to see through the box and to make it that large of a size. And then it's also cognitively demanding like an extra like fucking 15 layers of just seeing the diagonal cross section in every visible and invisible plane, right? So I'm just gonna lean in and I'm gonna rest my brain after this. Obviously, I'll encourage you to do so as well. I'm just gonna lean in and really try to see through this box, right, to the best of my ability. And again, I'm looking at the portrait reference again, just to encompass it correctly. There you go. And now, let's see, trying to visualize it, right? Trying to see it properly, trying to really calculate it. And I'm trying to make sure the tilt is held correctly as well. I'm like calculating the tilt in my mind. I'm trying to like reinforce what I'm seeing in my mind as a calculation. And when I mean seeing in my mind, I mean like as a vague, extremely vague calculation, right? It's very taxing. It's taxing the fuck out of my working memory. I'm trying to hold it all together. And now I'm trying to calculate, there you go. I'm trying to just see it on the page and I'm trying to calculate the visible, invisible, visible, invisible, visible, visible, there you go, and then invisible again. Like, and while I'm doing this, me ghosting it is also obstruction and invisible. Try to hold it all. It's extremely fucking difficult. Oh my god, this is so taxing. And I've already basically lost the box. What I'm in right now is output regression, but I'm constantly trying to bring the calculations back. I'm trying to bring it back. My body's like tensing up too, but I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to see it as correctly as possible. Okay. Whew. Okay, let me rest my brain. Oh, wow, look at that. Only 17 minutes so far. Good shit. And then before I know it, it'll be 45 minutes. I'll be like, what the fuck when that happened? Watch it, I'll get predicting the future. Yeah, anyways, please rest your brain. Let's try to give words of encouragement, not only to myself, but to you as well, because, hold up, let me fix my fucking chair there. God damn it. My chair, please. Chair-sama. I think that's like a meme in the Bleach community, Chair-sama. I still don't understand it, because I only watched season 1 of 1000 Year Blood War, which was fucking amazing, by the way. Genuinely, like, I watched it with my friend who read the manga and he finished it and all that stuff, like, back in 2013, 2014. I think 2014 is when Bleach ended? 2014 or 2015 the manga ended, right? But, what's it called? 2014, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, words of encouragement, right? Share some of my bullshit aside, right? What can I say that would encourage me and you, right? Together, forever. Well, again, it just flickered. I'm still trying to think about the box, right? That was a Monsters Inc. reference. You and me and you, together, forever. Anyways, like Mike Wazowski, your boy Mike Wazowski says it. Anyways. All over the place, all over the place. You're funny, Viggy. Everybody will relate to 50 years from now. They're like, haha, he watched the same things I did. Right, so what are some words of encouragement, right, that I can give to myself? Well, why do we continue to persist, right? Why do I continue to persist, even though it's so difficult? Well, one thing I can say is, like, nobody else will do this, right? Let's think about that. Let's think about that for a second. Nobody else will persist. You know, how many people do you know who do the difficult things, right? And by the way, I'm not speaking in terms of like an elitism point of view. I'm speaking it in terms of like we're just better than everybody else point of view. There's a fine distinction there. But no, I'm genuinely speaking in terms of like what's it called? It's not about doing difficult things for the sake of doing difficult things. It's about looking at what the difficult thing that can and should be done for the most return on investment for the skill we're trying to build, right? This isn't about taking a fucking cold shower so you can jerk off in the water later, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure I did that a few times, but no net benefit, no ROI. But anyways, like while I'm talking, by the way, about this completely unrelated thing, I'm genuinely thinking okay, I see it. I see the box for a second. Let me hold on to that. It's not as tilted as I want, so let me try to fix that. Right? Let me try to fix that. Okay, and this is taking a lot of cognitive energy to try to fix it. Okay, let me try to hold it. Right? Try to hold it to the best of my ability. And then try to, okay, I blinked and it went away, but I'm trying to bring it back. And then we're trying to see the diagonal cross section. That's invisible, visible, fuck. Visible, invisible, and then invisible, and visible, right? Oof, that was really difficult. But yeah, okay, let's try to see that again, But yeah, why do we do these things, right? Like what, like in the topic of like nobody else will do it, right? It's really not about being pretentious. It's just about being objective. It's like, what is the path that is the difficult path that many avoid, right? It's not about doing the difficult path for the sake of doing the difficult path, right? And I also want, oh Jesus Christ, I burped and my fucking food came out. Oh God. Well, at least I know my mom's yogurt tastes delicious. In Tamil, we call it thair, right? Thyer. Thayer. That wide enough for you folks? Thayer. That thayer, right? Yeah, thair. Anyways, thair. I noticed that like the fucking Tamil people, we use our tongues a lot, right? Our language is very syllable heavy, but anyways, right? And again, while I'm doing all this, I'm fucking trying to think. It's so difficult, considering that I fucking basically choked myself out, right? with my own food. But anyways, oh, by the way, like the box is diverging consistently. I want to let you know, like I'm constantly making mistakes. I'm barely able to visualize this. The 6 planes are not connecting as well as I would love for them to connect, right? They're just not connecting as well as and my brain constantly keeps making this as the box. It keeps doing this, right? That's what my brain's basically doing right now. Does that look like a fucking good box to you? No, right? But on this scale, it's extremely difficult. So again, I'm just trying to hold this visualization. I'm gonna try to really hold that tilt. I'm just doing it from my mind right now. But while I talk, right, while I visualize this, let me talk, right? And it's extremely difficult. I want to say, it's extremely fucking difficult to do this. But yeah, like, why are we doing this? Why am I doing such a difficult thing right now? Because this, and I want to say I'm personally enamored by how difficult, I'm enamored by the difficult path. Not for the sake of difficulty, but because for me it's like, okay, geometric spatial reasoning, visualization, calculation, holding dozens of things in my working memory are all beneficial, right? That's just an objective fact. Like it's just gonna make me a better draftsmanship. What is the natural extreme I can take it? Well, first it started with doing the artwod portrait roadmap, right? And you'll see it. I'm on part 139 or some shit now, right? But like you'll see when I started this entire session, right, this season of portraiture, which is going to be a couple of years, if not like at least a few, maybe 4, right, of portraiture, I started with just doing the simple, again, like we're only in the beginning of the artwod exercise where they're like, put it in a box, put in a sphere, put in a sphere, put the head in a box, put the head in a sphere, right, all that shit. Even then I was taking it to the natural extreme, but it just comes down to like realizing that, and then this will just end up becoming the Loomis method where it's just like, oh, it's the sphere, and then the sphere is attached to the Loomis head. Okay, but if I want to understand the sphere perfectly geometrically, I must understand it inside a box. If I want to understand inside a box perfectly geometrically, I must understand the diagonal cross sections. If I want to understand that, I have to understand the center planes. Then how the ellipses go inside those center planes. Then I'll understand how the center lines inside those ellipses, inside those planes with the ellipses inside them exist. Then understand how the sphere encompasses those 3 ellipses to form the perfect circle, right? That is extremely difficult and yields, and by the way, like my brain's been very confused. It was like super, like very, very, very blurry while I was talking about all that because like I could not focus. And again, focus is a skill, right? Like I'm making so many mistakes right now. Okay, I just need to hold this. But like the whole point I'm trying to make is like we do difficult things because they are beneficial, and they are difficult and they're difficult because they're beneficial as well, right? It's like a self-fulfilling feedback loop. You know, like it's not do difficult things for the sake of doing difficult things. It's understand which difficult things get you the most return on investment. And in this context, I will die on the fucking hill, right? I literally will, because I'll be this channel will go until I die, but I'll die on the hill that it's all spatial reasoning. It's all spatial reasoning. And this is just the first step, by the way. This is just the first decade of my art practice, is the spatial reasoning. After that comes values, right? After that comes fucking gesture and all that shit, like properly. Of course, I still try to practice that as much as I can when I'm doing my imagination drawings. But in terms of like sheer foundational practice and understanding, like in terms of my core practice, right? Which is, everything's recorded, by the way. Everything is recorded, except for like a few, maybe like, literally like at this point, over 400 videos have been recorded, 400 hours have been recorded, but probably only like 20 have been, that have actually practiced outside of it, have not been cataloged. And that's just like random sketchbook doodles that I never finished. And even then I try to show those. But, okay, my brain is like very, very, very incapable of visualizing right now. And it's also because I'm talking, right? So that's why like that's a skill, to talk and to visualize. So let me really fucking just immediately, I'm gonna try my absolute best. I'm gonna strain my brain. I'm gonna just lean into try to seeing this cube, right? Just lean in to trying to seeing this cube to the best of my ability, right? And again, my head, like it's not tilting as much as I want it to, right? But let's see, and then I'm gonna try to see the cube, and it's already shifting. Like the top plane was here, now it's down here. The box is already diverging everything, but I'm gonna try to again see it, and then once I see even just a semblance of it, and again, this is amazing. Like, why do we do this? Why am I doing this difficult thing? Because it's for the sheer joy of the effort, and to know that like over hundreds and hundreds of repetitions, I will see this. I will see the schema, and the reason the schema is so difficult is because it's a new angle, right? It's a new angle I've not practiced, and I have to force myself to understand, right? And the drawings in the background are obstructions. Okay, just keep leaning in, and my brain's clearly in output regression because I'm using all this energy and it's not seeing anything, right? And this is exactly where I lean in even more, and I try to calculate the diagonal cross sections and try to hold that in my mind. Try to calculate in my mind. I'm trying to hold it on the page. I'm trying to doing this and like everybody does it differently. I think some people see it on the page, some people calculate in their mind, other people a mix. It's all ratios and like of the mix as well, right? For me, it's definitely a mix, but I'm training myself as well to see it purely on the page, but it's definitely a mix, right? And I'm thinking extremely fucking hard. And I'm making so many mistakes because the top plane is collapsing, the side planes are collapsing, the parts of the front and the back plane aren't even, the back invisible plane aren't even fucking connected properly, and they're diverging. Okay, that was very difficult. I'm gonna rest my brain. We're gonna do that one more time. And then I'm gonna actually draw the box. Who would have fucking thought he'd actually start drawing, right? Joke's on you, drawing is thinking, right? Anyways, please rest your brain. Right, please rest your brain, I shall do the same. All right. Okay, hopefully that recovered my astrocytic glycogen enough. A big word, right? Big word, I'm a smart guy. Anyways, let's see. Right. And I hope, I do hope that, despite all my bullshit, it actually, like, despite whoever I am, right, I hope it really showcases that you really don't have to be a fucking smart person. Or, you don't have to be a serious person to be able to draw well, right? I hope at the very least I'm showcasing that, like, hey, you could be a complete fucking dipshit like me, right? But as long as the effort is serious, right? As long as the effort is serious, the results will follow. And that's the thing, it's not even about the results, but as long as the effort is serious, right? The results will have no choice but to respect it, you know, over hundreds and thousands of repetitions, right? I want to be very clear. I keep wanting to drill the fact that that it's drilling, I guess, right? But like that it's genuinely just intentional repetitions, right? And offsetting the time horizon to fucking forever and beyond, so you can just focus on the now. So deep, right? But anyways, I'm trying to visualize this one prop. I just want to visualize everything. The box. Wow, he just wants to visualize everything. What a fucking genius! Look, he can do it now. But no, anyways, let me really focus. I just want to visualize the entire scene through box, right? And it's already losing like a lot of its shit, but I want to visualize it, and then I want to see the diagonal cross sections, right? And I'm seeing that right now. Top plane. Oh, there you go. Yeah, top plane. Wait, top plane. Yeah, there you go. Bottom plane. Right there. Invisible back plane. Visible back plane. Invisible back plane, like the front facing, and then visible. I'm trying to hold that, and I'm really trying to get the foreshortening happening. Not the foreshortening, sorry, the convergences, the faster convergences, because this back plane needs to be a lot larger, right? So, and again, like it's the box started here, now it's up here, so it keeps shifting. And let me just try to hold that one more time. I'm gonna use as much fucking brain energy as I can, which is not much because then I'm a fucking retard, but you know, as much brain energy as I can to, and I hope I can like explain this well, but I'm constantly losing every single plane. Like I'm constantly losing it, or like I'm trying to hold this invisible cross section. Oh, lost this back plane, right? If I were to like verbalize every mistake that I was making, I wouldn't be able to verbalize it because I wouldn't be able to speak as fast as I'm thinking, right? But I'm trying to see this invisible cross section, right? Then I'm trying to see this visible cross section. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to really hold that invisible cross section. Now I'm trying to connect the top plane, and now I'm trying to hold this entire thing, right? It's already losing a lot of its perspective, but I'm trying to hold it. And now while I'm holding it, I'm trying to see this back, this bottom cross section, this top diagonal cross section, this side one, this back one, this back one, and then this back one. Right, that was a bit too far out. This back one, and I'm trying to hold it to the best of my ability, trying to hold it, and trying to calculate it, right? And like I'm losing everything, but just trying to really hold it all together, make sure it's wide enough as well, right? Trying to make sure it's wide enough. And my eyes are getting blurry, but now I'm starting to see. I'm actually, what the fuck? My eyes are getting blurry, but I'm starting to see it. Is this science? Is this fucking cognitive applicability, right? Oh shit, I'm actually seeing it. What the fuck? I'm actually seeing it. Holy shit, it's here. It exists. Oh my god. Oh no, never mind. It's gone. And there you go. I'll put regression. But it was the wrong one too, because it wasn't as tilted. I saw this. This is what I saw. I saw something like this, but the tilt was slightly more. Just tilt has to be more like this. Actually, is that the case? No, actually, this is more correct. So I actually did see the right box. But let's see, and then it's something like this, right? Yeah, this is actually the correct perspective, right? Ignore this line. I don't know why the fuck I made that line, but yeah, that's actually pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain again, because again, lots of cognitive effort. Rest your brain, replenish your astrocytic glycogen, right? Your brain is energy reserves that your prefrontal cortex needs, right? And then you do it again, right? So let me rest my brain, and then let me search the pen out. We gotta use the one that actually works, right? To draw the bucks. But fuck. Anyways, Jesus Christ, I'll do that after. Please rest your brain as well. Alright, Wunderbar in the Lunderbar. Oh shit, it's already been 33 minutes. Haha, see, I did it, except it's not 45, it's 33, but whatever. The point is, time flies when you're taxing your working memory and trying to hold dozens of calculations at the same time, while also trying to narrate the fact that you're taxing your working memory and holding dozens of calculations at the same time, right? So yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I'm already visualizing the box, right? The scene through box. I'm already visualizing it. Now I just need to do the part, where some could say this is the harder part, right? Some might say that actually drawing the fucking box is the harder part. I'm not sum, right? I'm not the sum. I'm multiplicative. I am not additive. Ha ha ha. Good joke, right? But anyways, I'm just looking at the portrait reference as well, right? And I'm trying to get the right depth. Trying to get the right depth, right, to this, because this is of course the box, right? This is of course the, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Hold the fuck up. I'm trying to think about this. Also, I know I was like basically stammering over my words earlier, where I was trying to be inspirational to an extent, I guess you could say, but I was just like I was trying to say like, why do we do hard things? And then I was doing the hard thing and I could barely fucking think. So I'm like, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. Basically, you do it when it has a net benefit. Spatial reasoning has the most benefit of any skill that you could comprehend. Fact, right? Like when it comes to drawing, right? Absolute fucking facts on facts, right? So we min-max spatial reasoning. How do we min-max spatial reasoning? Well, Viggy has decided to take it to the natural extreme by taking the box and telling himself that, hey, I'm just going to visualize everything I possibly can, every calculation that can possibly exist inside this box, within reason, right? Within reason, right? And that is what he is doing. That is what he is doing. So obviously there's like a million calculations technically I could see inside the box, right? But I'm trying to see the ones that are most beneficial, the ones that are basically the most, like the ones I'm basically seeing the calculations that really like beyond these fucking dozen, beyond these 50 calculations, there's not really much more that needs to be done, right? And while I was drawing this, I was really trying to see through the box as well, right? So this is basically the perspective. Actually, it could have been tilted a little bit more. Let me see. Could have been tilted a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, this could have been tilted a little bit more. But then, let's see. I don't know actually. I think there's definitely like 2 to 3 millimeter variances between the portrait reference and what I've done, right? Because this is not really tilted, right? Like this is definitely supposed to be a little bit more tilted. So that's on me. But now I'm already trying to think about, well, we made the mistake. We move on. We feel good, right? And okay, let me put this pen away. I'm not trying to waste the ink, right? But now I'm already starting to think and see through the form, right? So what do I mean by natural extreme? Well, natural extreme is we have a box. Okay, now we can see through the box. Okay, now we can see the diagonal cross section on every invisible plane inside this box, and like on and inside this box, right? Then we calculate the center planes that cross through these diagonal cross sections, right? We calculate these center planes, and this is another like fucking dozen calculations, right? Technically not, it's like 3, but like right now these are individual components, so like even the lines take a lot of energy for my brain to visualize, right? But we try to calculate. Yeah, I definitely didn't angle this properly. Should have been something more like this, actually, like coming down here. Should have been something more like that, like this. Yeah, there you go. That would have been a lot better. Yeah, that would have been more tilted, but it's okay. We made those mistakes. But yeah, like this is what I mean by natural extreme, right? Okay, so we have the seen through box, we have the diagonal cross axis. Now I'm trying to see the 3 center planes, right? Horizontal, vertical, like 2 verticals and the 1 horizontal, right? That go through those diagonal cross sections, right? And then try to hold it all in my mind. After I do that, it's like, okay, try to see the ellipses inside those 3 ellipses. After I do that, then it's like, okay, now try to encompass it inside a sphere, right? And after you do that, then it's like, okay, that's basically everything I need inside the box, because the box gives me the center planes, the diagonal cross sections, and the sphere and the ellipses inside of it. Nothing else that really needs to be calculated. You could be very, very fucking annoying about it. Like you could be even more annoying, be like, well, technically, if you have a front plane and then you have these diagonal cross sections and this vertical as well, technically you could also do this diagonal cross section inside those tiny little squares and do the vertical and horizontal here as well. And then technically, yeah, fucking like let's go to fucking infinite goddamn little planes inside of it, right? Or little cross sections. Unnecessary, because once you can do the large scale, yeah, of course I can already see that the center point is here for this tiny plane or this tiny cross section, this tiny cross section, this one. I can see that. Okay, so I know I said I can see that like that. I can see that, but I can see that, right? But that's why doing it on a larger scale is actually more important, right? I don't know how it is for everybody else, but for me, the larger the scale, the more difficult it is. Okay, like the larger the scale of the visualization, the more difficult it is, which is why I've been forcing myself to do it at this scale, because this is a relatively large box, right? This is a relatively large box to be holding multiple fucking calculations over, right? Over, inside, within, like all that shit. But anyways, enough talking. I have been still thinking quite a bit, but I'm gonna lean the fuck in and try to see through the entire box, see all the diagonal cross sections, and then also see these center planes. And holy shit, I can actually calculate the center planes individually pretty fast. So let's try to hold it all. Holy shit, bro. I'm actually like holding a solid 60% of the trifecta, like the 3-plane intersection, pretty well. Oh my god. So yeah, this perspective is definitely too easy for me, like once it's drawn out, right? So if it was tilted, it would have been more difficult, but I guess this angle is definitely a little bit more easy, because I already got the center line right there, right? I can see through this pretty damn well, right? Yeah, I do wish I actually, like, I mean, I wish I didn't make the mistake and I made it tilted. Wow, good job. Fucking, I wish so too, bro. I wish so too. But anyways, let's really try to lean in and just fucking tax the shit out of our working memory, right? And try to see through I'm trying to see through the box. I'm trying to see every single invisible, and visible diagonal cross section. And I'm trying to see the center planes, the 3 center planes, the 2 verticals and the 1 horizontal that are intersecting through it. And already my vision's getting blurry and this is extremely difficult, but I'm leaning into it. I am actively trying to hold and to calculate it to the best of my ability, right? I'm constantly oscillating between seeing one center plane clearly and the other 2 very, very, very vaguely, and then trying to hold them all together explicitly, and that in and of itself creates its own vagueness, right? Because this bottom one, I'm losing this bottom line, because like I'm losing a lot of lines, right? And I'm losing a lot of the center, the diagonal cross sections as well, right? I'm losing a lot of it, and even this top one, like I completely did not see. This side one, I did not see, right? I did not see, but anyways, yeah, I guess Germany jokes aside, right? Fucking Hitler jokes, I don't know what the fuck, like I don't really have, what are they called? What are the Nazi jokes? Sure, whatever, right? Funny, haha, play on words aside, right? Actually, the point of the channel is drawing, in case you weren't aware. So I am actively thinking. I'm really trying to lean into this. I really want to put my brain through sheer cognitive discomfort. That's the goal for me. So like, when you make discomfort the goal, everything is a win, right? Because am I uncomfortable? Yes. Okay, good. Am I uncomfortable still? Yes. Congrats. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful fucking win. And this is where learning happens. So again, I'm in output regression. I'm slowly getting there. I can feel my eyes getting warmer. I can feel my brain getting fucking warmer. I think I'm about to internally combust. Somebody save me, please. But no, this is extremely uncomfortable, right? I'm trying to hold everything. I'm losing it all. I'm in output regression for sure now. And I'm just trying to hold on to a semblance of these calculations. It's flickering, it's going all over the place, right? I hope me clarifying exactly what I'm thinking really helps you mirror my efforts to your own, because genuinely, like, I can't see anything right now, apart from just like this one back line and maybe vaguely these 2 lines. Okay, let me rest my brain. We're gonna try that again, at least 2 more sessions of that. And then we add the ellipses, right? And then we'll do that, 2 more sessions, and then we add the sphere, like trying to go over that, and then, you know, the face and all that shit, right? Trust me, and the thing is, like, this is an active effort to constantly feel good about the effort that you're putting in. It's literally an effort to feel good about effort, right? And it just comes, it's pure mindset, and mindset is what? How you respond to stimulus. And what does that really mean? You're gaslighting yourself. You're just gaslighting yourself, right? Oh shit, did I do 32 to 34? I'm a fucking idiot, bro. 31, 32, 33. There you go. That's a tree right there. That's a trios, as the Toronto man say. Right? That's a trios. Illit. What the fuck? I was trying to say in it and then ally, and I did a godforsaken combination of the 2. But it is an effort to enjoy effort, right? Like right now, a part of me does genuinely feel like, damn, I wish I got that angle right. I wish I got the tilt of this box right. But I didn't. So what do? I just forced myself to feel good. I looked at that mistake and I just forced myself to feel good, right? Because the other response is frustration. And you know what frustration signals to your brain? I want to be very clear. You know what frustration signals to your brain when you're going through discomfort? It tells your brain to stop paying attention to that discomfort, and it shuts off neuroplasticity. You are signaling to your brain when you are attaching frustration and the chemicals associated with frustration, which is cortisol, or whatever the fuck else it might be, right? But when you're attaching frustration to your learning bout, you are signaling to your brain to actively diminish its focus and attention towards the thing that you're struggling with, and to block off any attempts in trying to learn it. Let me repeat that again. When you feel frustration, right? When you're attaching frustration to your learning bout, you're signaling to your brain to not pay attention to the thing that you're struggling with. Therefore, reducing and greatly diminishing your ability to learn that thing. So what do? You have to do the opposite, which is attach dopamine, which is just force yourself, however you can fucking do, to feel good about the errors that you make. So you just keep noticing the errors, you keep leaning into the friction, you keep feeling good, try to hold that as much as possible, take a step back, rest your brain. Do it again. And with that being said, please rest your brain. Yeah, so another couple things that I was just thinking about right now. So the reason I talk so much about this and I'm passionate and all that shit about this, apart from the fact that this is literally what's been working and it objectively is the fucking foundational truth of how to learn, right? Apart from the reality, right, of things, of just like this is how it is, right? The reason I keep saying this, and by the way, while I'm talking, I'm thinking, and I want to explicitly say again, everything is a skill, right? Because it is inevitable. I will inevitably have a cult following, right? The better I get, right? And the more people come across my channel and realize, oh shit, this guy actually has the receipts, and the receipts are refreshingly real, because they are real. You can't fake 4,000 hours of proof. I'm sorry, you cannot. It's a good thing. I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why I said I'm sorry. I'm not fucking sorry. You cannot fake it. You cannot fake it, right? So there will be dozens of you, maybe even 100, maybe even 1,000, depending on how big I get, right? Who will be back to these videos, right? And you must, and I must, if I can be so fucking egotistical to say that I want to teach, right? Or I want to impart some wisdom, if I can even just for a second have some ego surrounding that and be like, this is what I want to do, right? Then I have a duty to impart the correct mindset, which is everything is a fucking skill. Everything is effort. It's all backed by neuroscience. Do the behaviors, put in the effort, learn how to enjoy it, keep fucking going and never give up, right? Like, those are the crucial mindsets, and throw your fucking ego in the goddamn trash, right? I tell that to myself all the time. You know, it's actually on my wall. I sleep next to it. You know, I don't know how you can sleep next to a wall. Technically you can, right? Ignore that. That was a shit saying. Nobody hold on to my shitty jokes. Right? Only to the wisdom that I drip out of my dick, right? But anyways, what's it called? What the fuck was I saying, right? I'm trying to like visualize all the, let me take a step back. I'm trying to visualize the entire scene through box, and I actually see the entire scene through box right now, and I see all the diagonal cross sections. Okay, so I need to capitalize on this, because these moments are sparing. The moments where you just have some random moment of clarity where your brain decides to show you a vestige of the consolidation of the things that you're putting in your working memory, right? It shows you like a vestige of that chunked information, right? It takes much longer for it to be a natural occurrence where you don't use your brain to do it, but your brain will consolidate and show you snippets of your future ability at times after intense bouts, right? Like when you do a bunch of intense bouts, it shrinks technically. You can't really do it, right? That's output regression. But then randomly, I have noticed consistently, at least like three to four times a session, right? For a few seconds, your brain will just be like, oh, look, this is actually what you're going to be able to see. Like this is actually your skill that you'll see like fucking 400 hours from now, right? And right now, just for a split second, I did see through the box and I did see all the diagonal cross section. It took me no energy to see it. Now it's taking me active energy to put it back and to see it, right? So let me just really try, and I will finish my sentence, but just know that, again, that's why I always fucking tell you dickheads to draw along, because there ain't no fucking way I'm finishing anything I ever say in one go, right? So I'm trying to visualize the diagonal cross section. I'm trying to visualize the seam through box. I'm trying to visualize all of that, and I'm trying to now visualize the three center planes. And this is where my brain, like, again, this is where my brain actively, really struggles, right? And this is exactly where, because again, like this is exactly where I need to lean into, right? Right, I need to lean into this. I'm trying to see this horizontal center plane, right? I'm trying to see the vertical center plane. Making a lot of mistakes. This vertical center plane projected outward here. And now I need to see this one as well. This one projected outward, right? And I'm trying to hold all that in my mind, and that's extremely difficult. It was easier before, now it's more difficult. So I need to hold the fuck onto it, and while I'm doing this, like I'm constantly losing the diagonal cross sections, right? I'm constantly losing the seam through box, right? It's extremely taxing, it's extremely cognitively taxing, which is why it's pure cognitive endurance, right? It's pure cognitive endurance, it's pure working memory taxation and forcing your brain to consolidate information it does not have the capacity to consolidate yet. Like right now, my brain can't really see the three center planes consolidated whatsoever, right? And it's constantly going through the center plane, the diagonal cross sections, the center point of the diagonal cross sections wrong, right? And I have to actively think every time it goes through those points, or I have to actively think about that. When I actively think about this center plane going through it, I lose the other two. And now when I realize I've lost the other two, I have to actively, right, engage myself with being like, okay, I lost that, let's try to zoom out and then immediately see the other two again. And now that I'm doing that, this initial one that I just saw is fading out again, right? But that is exactly how I just have to constantly keep forcing it. I just have to keep forcing it until it becomes a consolidated chunked unit. What is the consolidated chunked unit? The three center planes inside and attaching inside the box to the diagonal cross sections, right? I'm just staring. I know right now I'm just a fucking dickhead yelling at a piece of paper, staring at a page. But I'm just trying to explicitly say, like, this is everything that's going on in my mind right now. I'm going to try to lean into it for another 10 seconds, just as long as I can, just try to think about it as much as possible. Right now I'm really thinking about this center plane, right? Trying to really think about the cross sections that it's going over as well, right? This cross section going through there, this cross section going through here, this cross section going through there. Trying to actively think about that. And while I'm trying to hold that to the best of my ability, I'm trying to do the same thing with this one, and I'm zooming out. I'm trying to not specifically look there, but I'm trying to calculate it in my mind. Now I'm trying to hold those two. This is the more difficult part. Now I'm trying to hold those two, and it's already, the second I started calculating this, those two have faded quite a bit. But I'm trying to hold those two and see this one. And while I'm trying to do that, yeah, the other two have basically faded. I can't even conceptualize them, let alone see even a semblance of the three connected together. And that's when I attach dopamine. That's when I feel good. Now I'm gonna rest my brain. Please do the same. All right, let me drink some water. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, it's been 51 minutes. There you go. There's my exclamation of surprise, right? Oh, wow, it's been X amount of time. Who would have thought? Let me drink some water. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk indeed, right? So I guess I'm just gonna have to think about the ellipses now, right? Which is gonna be very difficult. But let me finish my thought while I try to fucking do this, because trying to think about all those center planes with the ellipses inside of them is gonna be a whole nother fucking thing. So let me just finish what I'm saying and then I'll start visualizing. Let me do my quote unquote not as hard visualization while I do this, which is just seeing through the box and seeing the diagonal center planes or diagonal cross sections, right? Which is still taking a decent amount of energy, like a solid 20 to 30% of my cognitive energy, right? Not the fucking 100% kill me feeling. Also, again, I'm being I'm joking when I say kill me, like in the sense that like I'm not being serious in the sense that it's actually painful or anything, right? Like these are all good things. Please never fucking take any of the negative things I say about my experience seriously, and always take everything positive seriously. I really want to instill the positive mentality because I know younger kids, like, they fucking crop up on my live streams here and there. Like, okay, I'm 28, so anybody who's like below 20 is pretty young to me, right? Even like early 20s. But like if you're in your mid to late teens, or if you're in your early 20s, and by the time I hit not mastery, but by the time I start reaching excellence in portraiture, I will be in my 30s. I'll probably be like 31, 32, right? So people will be generally younger than me, right? And one thing I want to say is like, okay, what did he mean by throw your ego in the trash, right? Does that mean I can't be proud of my work? No, absolutely be proud of yourself. But here is the distinction I use. Have a genuinely pragmatic, i.e. realistic, view, an objective view on reality. What does that mean? I am only as good as the work that I have put in. I do not deserve any more or any less than the output, the outcome of that work. I am proud of the work that I have done. I am proud of the effort that I have put in. right? I am proud of the effort. I am proud of the effort. That is the main thing, right? And I am proud of the fact that I will continue to try to put in as much effort as I can consistently until I die. But I only am as good as I deserve to be. If you are in a place where you look at your art and you say, this isn't as good as I want to be, well, you are only as good as the work you have put in, right? And if you aren't as good as you want to be, congratulations, you have now found a gap which you can tackle. And the answer is 99% of the time, my spatial reasoning needs work, all right? My understanding of perspective and form needs work, and I need to be more intentional in my practice, right? And perhaps, I'm gonna fucking make an assumption here. You think that practicing fundamentals is boring. Well, you're a fucking idiot, right? Just like I was when I failed the first 2 times over 2 years trying to practice art, which is the fundamentals are not boring. We, the learner, are boring because we have failed to perceive the fundamentals as stimulating, right? They're not boring. Please tell me if it is boring to try to calculate let me say this again. I know you said this very in a profound manner, right? Please tell me if it is boring to try to calculate seeing through a box, seeing the invisible planes cross sections, diagonal cross sections, seeing the visible planes cross sections, trying to see 3 intersecting center planes inside that box that align with the center point of those diagonal cross sections, right? And then trying to project and calculate an ellipse inside those 3 center planes and hold it all at the same time, and then try to encompass those 3 ellipses inside a sphere. Please tell me if it is boring to do that. Your answer is most likely that gave me a fucking headache. Yes, it is stimulating. Thereby, it is engaging. Thereby, it requires cognitive effort and focus. You are projecting, and again, I'm talking to a very specific subset of people who keep calling the fundamentals boring, including the fucking goddamn advanced artists who keep perpetuating that notion, and it pisses me off. It pisses me off, all right? Because they're the ones also not helping with this. Guys, I know it's the boring work, but you gotta do it. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's not boring. It's stimulating. It's very difficult, right? They probably view their journey through the fundamentals as a goddamn slog, but it's not a slog. It's literally engaging. There's a reason why artists stagnate, because they stop challenging and engaging their brain. Michelangelo, and I found out this recently, but I'm so fucking happy he said this quote, because if my words don't matter, then perhaps the word of one of the greatest fucking artists, craftsmen of all time matters. He explicitly said, a painter is only as good as his brain. If that goat can say that with a straight face, right? And with fucking tens of thousands of hours of sheer intentional repetition behind his craft, then who the fuck are we to deny that claim? The answer is nobody, because it's a fucking true claim, right? So you're only as good as the work that you put in, right? That's what I mean by humility. Not I'm shit, I'm worthless, right? Oh, everybody's better than me. None of that. It's I'm only as good as the work that I put in. I'm proud of the efforts that I have put in. And again, student mentality. I am grateful for the opportunity to learn from people that I perceive as much more highly skilled than me, whether they can articulate their skill or not. Because it's one thing to be able to draw well and to paint well and to be able to be creative well, whatever the fuck, to create well. It's another thing to be able to articulate it to the degree that others understand exactly what to do and the actual steps to take in order to do it, right? Which is why I'm practicing this. I'm not saying I'm good at this, by the way. I'm saying I'm constantly practicing the skill of articulating what I'm thinking about. Like right now, while I've been focused using my parietal lobe, I talk about something completely unrelated, I've been struggling quite a fucking bit to see through this form, right? Because my brain energy, my astrocytic glycogen is competing with my prefrontal cortex. My parietal lobe is competing for astrocytic glycogen with my prefrontal cortex in order to perform these 2 tasks simultaneously. This is extremely difficult, right? Another thing I can tell you is like, okay, on top of, only as good as we are. Like, we're only as good as we are. We don't deserve anything more, anything less. It's all derived from our efforts and the work that we put in, right? Very clear, I guess, on that end. I would hope it's very clear on that end. The other thing I want to make clear is you must treat your brain like a fucking engineer. Like, you are an experiment, right? You are practicing metacognition, thinking about thinking. What does that mean? In your practice, you are constantly being aware of where you're going wrong and what exactly you can discern. You won't be able to discern everything, but what you can currently discern, and you will fucking go ham on trying to discern and fix that error to the best of your ability, and you won't be able to because you're not skilled enough, and that's where you attach dopamine to your errors, and that's where your brain learns, right? You must treat yourself like a pure, objective, not cold, unfeeling, but yes, objective and calculating engineer of your mind, because that is what you're creating. You are creating a strong iron mind that can spatially reason. Oh, cringe. Yes, I know, fucking using these metaphors, allegories, whatever the fuck they are, right? To be like, oh, an iron mind? What is this? Hajime no Ippo? Iron Fist? Yes, actually very epic. But The point is, you're creating a strong mind. You're creating a strong brain that can reason logic, math, and space, right, in a manner that takes excess amount of effort. Therefore, you must have the mindset that proliferates positivity and encouragement and effort, and not anything else. No frustration, none of that bullshit, right? That's why it's all effort. It's all about the effort. But anyways, I've talked quite a bit for fucking 8 minutes. Let me try to see the ellipses because I haven't been able to, right? But I felt as if that point was very, very important to get across. I will sacrifice fucking 3 minutes of brain energy to get across that point. But anyways, now I'm going to really try to see through the form. I'm really trying to see all the diagonal cross sections, really trying to see the 3 center planes, and I'm trying to see the ellipses inside of them as well, right? So this, let's see, this ellipse right here, this is the center plane. And there you go. Okay, that's a pretty good ellipse, right? I'm trying to hold that ellipse in my mind inside the plane. I'm trying to get this one down as well, right? Okay, that's a pretty good ellipse too. That's a pretty good ellipse. And then we have, okay, I'm trying to hold those 2 ellipses inside their planes. And now I'm trying to get the vertical, the other larger vertical ellipse. This one should be pretty straightforward. Okay, there you go. So now that we have those 3, I need to, let's see, do something like this, right? This is my sphere. And I'm really like this, like I always start good here because like this is where the edge of the horizontal ellipse is. And then it starts going to shit here. So let me just try. Okay, so what I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna think as hard as I fucking can. Okay, there it is. It's the vertical, it's the front facing ellipse. And then this is the horizontal. And then what else? Okay, this is the vertical one again, and this is the other side facing vertical, right? So, and then I didn't even ghost that properly. Whew, this is very difficult. By the way, like I've completely lost the cross axes and everything because this is already very, very taxing on my brain, right? Just to be able to intersect 3 ellipses and then put a sphere over them. Let's see. And this is my other, there you go, something like that. This is my sphere, right? This is my sphere. Oh my god. Okay, that was a fucking brain turner. I'm gonna rest my brain. I'm gonna try to see that again. But yeah, I really want to instill the right mindset, approach, mentality, whatever the fuck it is, right? And because this channel will have a cult following. I will be the fucking GOAT. People will hang on to my word. And I want to, if I may have the liberty to, right? If I genuinely may have the liberty to influence even a small subset of the next generation of artists, this is the mentality I want to instill. It's not about, I'm a fucking hardcore grinder. No, it's not about that. It's just about maximizing returns on the effort that you put in and being objective of where that effort will get you, right? I had to say get like that to really right? But because I know for a fact that when I start becoming, when right now I'm putting in all the fucking work, but nothing's quote unquote cashing out. But when it starts cashing out, fucking 3 years from now with like part 500 of this portrait series, like holy shit, this guy's creating some incredible portraits from imagination. And then they're like, oh wait, this is what he sees in his mind? And more than this, obviously, there'll be the fucking Loomis jaw and then features on top of it, like a la the artwod method, right? But it's like, once that comes to realization, people will look back and you'll be faced with overwhelming evidence, right? Just overwhelming evidence as to the cognitive effort that I put in, you know? And no matter how much of a positive message I try to give, there will be people who will critique me because to protect their own ego, they'll say this is too sanitized, this is, and again, I'm a guy talking to myself in my parents' basement, right? This is all fucking hypothetical conjecture in my head. But if it were to be true, let me at least address it now, right? But people will likely say this is too sanitized, this is too hardcore, he promotes art, the boring shit, like whatever the fuck else you can say about somebody who just tries hard, right? Maybe even like anything related to me being a tryhard would probably come about. So what I want to say is yes, yes, being a tryhard is good because trying hard at something you care about is an honorable characteristics, I would like to believe. I don't think I am honorable. I'm a piece of shit, as you guys can hear. But I think we can at least emulate these traits that get us to being the type of person we want to be, right? 4 years from now, I will be the type of person who put in the effort in to get to be that person who can produce those things. But the result is never part of it. It's just about becoming that person, right? The process, the journey, hero's journey, right? But yeah, like I want to instill a good mentality, right? And what the fuck else? I guess that's it. Rest your brain. Yeah, okay, cool. And I guess the last thing I always say, right? Like, while I obviously continue to try to spatially reason it, I'm already starting to see all the ellipses and shit, right? I'm actually like, oh, I'm actually seeing, holy shit, I'm seeing it! I'm seeing it, everybody! This is the fucking thing I talked about where you see it for a split second. Oh my god, oh my goodness, there it is. There it is. Holy shit! There's the sphere. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, and it's gone. But I saw it. I fucking saw it! Oh my god! I'm a fucking king. Yes, there you go. It's gone now. But holy shit, resting your brain really does work. Holy fuck, bro. Just for a second, your brain's like, hey, here's just what we played at like 500 times the speed. Look, you can see it now, and I'm like, that's all. But then it's gone, so it's what it is. Okay, so back to visualizing everything manually, right? Back to visualizing everything manually. But the last thing I always want to say is you are capable of this. Always tell yourself, why not me? Right? Like, why not me? Why can't I do it? Right? I have the capability. The only difference between me and the version of me that is more capable is hundreds and thousands of attempts, right? And hundreds and thousands of failures and hundreds of thousands of learnings from those failures to the best of my ability. I acknowledge that I will not be able to see what I see then, what I see now. That was a pretty shit way to word it. Okay, let's say it again. I acknowledge that when I start, the nuance that I can see will be fucking microscopic compared to what I will be able to see half a year from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But it is my attempts to try to understand, to try to consistently understand, that will allow me to see, right? Just like I fucking see the sphere again. Okay, like I'm actually able to calculate this pretty decently. Holy fuck, bro. It is genuinely a Christmas fucking miracle. Holy shit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Right, actually, no, fuck, I fucked up. Never mind, it's over here. Fucking hallelujah didn't last as long as I wanted it to. No, but never mind. Never mind, hallelujah, we're back. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. But anyways, I do see it relatively decently. And now, while I hold this in my mind, I'm gonna try to hold the 3 center planes in my mind to the best of my ability, the scene through box, everything. We're gonna draw this fucker's face. I'm gonna draw this fucker's face that I angled incorrectly. Right, so let's get the edge of the sphere, or the ellipse first. There you go. It's like right around here. Okay, let's get the good pen, right? The good pen. But yeah, you're capable, right? That's like the big message I always try to promote, and then it completely doesn't get promoted that way because I'm fucking clearly ass at explaining myself, right? But you are, without a fucking doubt, capable, right? Plus, I need people to believe in themselves, and I need me to be the person that tells them that they believe, that who believes them, because how else will I sell my course 10 years from now? That's the real question, right? How do you get people to buy? You simply tell them that they, I don't know, I was trying to rhyme, how do you get people to buy? And then I couldn't come up with anything. That's it. There was nothing to it apart from that. But anyways, I'm trying to visualize the sphere. I'm trying to visualize... Yeah, I'm really trying to visualize the sphere. That's actually really good. Trying to specifically visualize the sphere is forcing my brain to think. And again, like while I'm doing this, I'm looking at the portrait reference again, right? And that's also really difficult, right? Let's get the nose in here. This guy's noses. Dude, noses are so fucking weird. I can't wait to learn noses because they're genuinely so fucking weird, right? Like, the fuck is this? Who the fuck came up with God's plan? Bullshit. What kind of plan is this, God? You couldn't have come up with a better shape, bruh. Inefficient, ineffective, mid. Try again, get good, nerd. Right? There you go. And if that takes me to hell, so be it. So be it. Right? Soviet, actually. Soviet. In Mother Russia, we switch to the accent when we have no other joke. And then we do a weird, not even a Santa Claus laugh, just a really weird laugh. Right? But anyways, what was I saying? What the fuck was I saying? Something about, like, I'm gonna sell you my course. Good joke, Viggy. Thank you, Viggy. Right, but anyways, let's get this guy's lips to ripperoonies. Also something I struggle with. Right? Why? Because I'm shit. I'm shit. And soon, 50 years from now, I will be less shit. It's a good cope, isn't it? When you just constantly keep... You know how I say extend the time horizon? That's what I mean. Just extend the time horizon to always just say that you'll never be good. So people constantly... I didn't even mean for his lips to end right there. It's supposed to actually be a little bit further out. right? So people just stop fucking annoying you, right? So in that way, like even when you are consistently shit, it'll just be like, haha, he never said he was gonna be good in the first place, right? So tra-la-la-la. This is Captain Underpants. I was gonna say Captain America. That is not Captain America. That's fucking Captain Underpants. Anyways, I can't see through the form. I'm really trying to see it right now, but I genuinely cannot, right? This is where the sphere ends. This is where the jaw juts out, right? The sphere ends right around here. Oh, I actually can see that for a sec. Holy shit, the sphere ends right around here. Dude, I'm actually like seeing. Oh my god, he's beginning to bereave. He's beginning to bereave, right? I'm actually really excited for when my channel gets big enough and people notice all like the racist shit I say, right? And then finally, I'll be able to be like, but I'm brown. You can, fuck, what was that, the creatures thing again? Like, she's blue. No, you're bald. You can't tell me what to do, you're bald. Thank you, Xavier. That shit was hilarious, right? But yeah, I can't wait for till people notice, starts like go back and try to fucking sift through my videos, and it's just a bunch of racist shit. They'll be like, how could he say something so profound? I'm a believer, right? I'm a believer in his I don't know. I think I've shot on every race. So at this point, like you're just a believer in just in Vigism, right? Am I digging myself a hole? Who knows, bro? Who knows? There you go, trying to get the lips. And by the way, like while I'm drawing this, while I'm obviously shooting the shit, I'm constantly trying to think about the form. Like I'm really trying to think about those center planes right now. And it's not, and when I say constantly, I mean like I'm just trying to remind myself, because let's be fucking honest, I can't really think of anything right now because I'm constantly also looking back and forth between the reference. Right? This guy doesn't even fucking look like this. God damn it, bro. I'm so bad at it. I'm genuinely so bad at currently, right? Yet, also power of yet. But I'm really currently not good at the ears right here. Yeah, I'm currently not that good at what's it called, likeness, but I don't really give a shit about that right now. It's just about getting relative proportional accuracy while I draw, right? And while I'm doing this, like while I'm trying to hold this, I'm trying to at least see through the box, right? And this is an active effort. Again, it's an active effort to constantly remind myself of the fact that I have I think I fucked something up here, but yeah, his jaw is like jutting out way too much. Oh, because I made his lips, I made the front of his jaw jut out too much. It's supposed to be down here. It's supposed to be something like this. Right there you go. And then it was supposed to be going out roughly like so. And maybe I did actually miscalculate the ear. Because let's see. And then, oh yeah, the ear's supposed to be like right here. That's a fuck up on my end. Right, that's the ear supposed to be like right here. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's a lot better. I'm sure there's like a lot of other things that I can't see as well. Like I'm 100% sure of it, whatever the fuck. But for the time being, that's okay. That's good enough, right? My brain is absolutely fried. It's been an hour and 12 minutes, right? I don't even know where the fuck the shit about me being racist came from. I've never said anything controversial. Leave me alone. What is the charge? I always fuck this up. My friend gives me the most dirty look, right? Well, what is the charge? It's a fucking a succulent meal, right? Something like that, right? Diddling a meal, a nice succulent meal. But anyways, there you go. And I'm still like obviously trying to visualize while I draw this, right? I'm trying to visualize the different axes and all that shit, but getting better. This is a huge mistake. Like I now see it very much so, right? Like this guy's fucking everything should have been, his lips in general are not in perspective. Like this lip should have been a little bit down there. But either way, it's good. Like I like making mistakes, right? He said, he coped, he cried, but he continued. Right. So, if there's any hope I can give any of you is the fact that if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can donate me money. Ain't that the truth? Let's go. Okay, so like obviously I'm just talking random shit now, but I'm still trying to think about the scene through form and everything, right? And here like I can get to practice my lines. Because as you can see, this angle, this, like everything pushing and pulling in here, I struggle with quite a bit, right? Why? Because that's just something naturally, that meta skill of drawing in that angle, as you can see, right? That is something I naturally have always struggled with for years, right? And that, everybody will have their own version of that. But look, like something smooth, like something like this is a lot smoother. It's not something smooth like this, something a lot like this. is a lot smoother, right? And I still struggle with connecting fucking two dots clearly, right? So it's all skills. It's all skills, right? It's not about being perfect. It's just about doing your fucking best and then noticing the. See, look at that fucking discrepancy right there. Yeah, like that's what I was literally trying to say. Is like doing your best, noticing the discrepancy, feeling good, and then trying again here, right? Trying again. There you go. That was a lot better. Still not good, but a lot better, right? There you go. Put that away. Now we get the other pen. We get the other pen, right? But and then obviously like constantly just try to see what you're trying to understand, right? And it is extremely difficult. Don't get me wrong. It is extremely difficult. Like that's the biggest point I was trying to make is like this is very difficult. I think the biggest thing that throws off artists is the fact that it's actually very hard, right? And nobody expects art to be difficult because everybody fucking thinks, at least a lot of beginners, right? Let's be very, very clear, right? I'm not trying to throw everybody under the bus. Only a small subset of people. But everybody thinks, beginners think that like it's easy, right? Because what are beginners used to? They're used to copying, right? So copying doesn't take nearly as much cognitive energy as understanding, right? As understanding space. And it's like the same shit. Everybody who gets decently proficient keeps saying, hey, learn your fundamentals. Hey, actually understand space. But, is there a better way? The fundamentals will be that important? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, right? Again, imagine going to a fucking piano teacher and being like, do I really have to practice my skills? Like, do I really need to understand arpeggios? Right? I'm only using piano as an example because I'm learning piano. If I told that to my teachers, they'd fucking spit in my face and then backwash that shit and then spit it again. Right? Like, can you imagine going to a fucking martial arts, like a boxing dojo, alright, or martial arts, whatever, any gym or anything, and he's like, here's how you throw a punch, or here's how you grapple, or here's how you chokehold, and you, with all your years of knowledge and wisdom and insight, says, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, right? Unfortunately, in this case, you don't jump off into a building in a cool slow-mo fashion. You get punched in the face and thrown out, right? For fucking disrespecting the craft, right? Unfortunately, we don't have that version with art. We just have Twitter or Instagram or whatever the fuck wars, right? So, truly, I'd say we definitely got the good end of that deal, right? But let's try to get this ellipse. See, I fucked that up here, but I'm trying to fix it now. Okay, that's this ellipse, and then we got, because I'm trying to think about like the cross sections as well, right? I'm trying to really think about the cross sections. Let's see. There you go. That one I kind of fucked up a little bit. Oh, okay. So I got the ear right. I actually got the ear right. I got the entire face wrong. It was supposed to be here. Damn, okay. So yeah, you see, that's a huge incorrectness. Because you know what I saw? In my mind, I saw this. I saw this ellipse as like much more narrow. But that's wrong because this isn't that narrow, right? Actually, no, fuck, is it? Fuck me, I don't know anymore. Hold up. I should really try to visualize this as accurately as I can. Okay, I think it is a bit more. Never mind. I think I did get it decently right. No, I just jutted out this guy's jaw way too much, and that's what made everything else not make sense. Because like his lips are like pouting outwards, but his lips should have just been down here. And actually, his lips are even okay. Maybe they're a bit too far from his nose, but his jaw just needed to be something like this, right? And then if it went back, and then it needs to be more subtle like that. But is that where the ear is? Well, let's see. No, the ear is like right around here. The ear, I did actually have the ear placement right. Something about this is off. Either way, or let's just get this fucking drawing underway. Or this ellipse underway. Let's see. There you go. That's a pretty good ellipse. Nothing incredible, but pretty decent. And then that is the rough, the very, very, very rough to the point of being disgusting sphere, or like the 3 ellipses, right? I definitely need to work on this a decent amount, but then there you go. There's the, yeah, there's my fuck, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Something must be off here. Did I get this wrong too? Is this more out? This might be more out. Yeah, there you go. It's more out. Because I was like, there's no way I fucked up everything. He unfortunately did fuck up everything. I'm still obviously like, this hurts my head. I'll be very clear. Like, this fucking hurts my head. So, I'm still... And I like, obviously I can't even see everything properly. But roughly, this should be the ellipse, right? God damn it. Sorry, the sphere, not the ellipse. Like, this should roughly be the sphere encompassing it. And even like drawing the perfect circles, it was very difficult. There you go. This is whatever. Fucking whatever, bro. Leave me alone. But anyways, that was fun. That was great. That was really good practice, right? Again, like, the better I'll be able to see, like, once, the more layers that my brain chunks, consolidates, and I can see much more effectively, the better I'll be able to practice actually drawing and visualizing accurate ellipses and then putting the sphere containing that, right? So it's just a matter of, like, consistency. What a fucking shock. But just like a matter of consistency and time, right? If anything, to make this a perfect circle, this, there you go. That's better. That's actually what it should be like. There you go. But yeah, either way, still learning, which is great because I'm always learning. And with that being said, right, hope you put a lot of effort in. Hope you tried your goddamn best. Maybe I inspired. Hashtag big inspired, right? But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing and please give me money.